Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in. This is BabyNation.com back with another video, guys. Welcome back to NFL Week 11. We have our analytics predictions here for Week 11. We're here every single Thursday afternoon with this video. We're going to give you guys, if you guys are new to the channel, this is just where we break everything down here. We get to do picks against the spread, final score, over, under, breakdown, stuff like that. So if you guys are new to the channel, that's basically what we do here every single week. By the way, if you guys missed out our previous show, which is our NFL pick show from yesterday, make sure you guys please go check that out. It's a lot of fun going over there for the pick show. So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, make sure you guys please do so. But like I said, I do appreciate and support everybody for being here. It's been a heavy NFL season. We still have a long way to go. So like I said, I do appreciate you guys for coming in. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe button for me. Make sure you join Discord, follow me on Twitch, and join our Discord. Everything is in the link in the description for all of that. For your screen up top, you guys will see what I do every single week, or what I do overall every single week. Last week we ended up finishing at least 500 in every single category, so that's pretty good. It's pretty good because sometimes that gets a little tough to do. And overall 97.51 or above 500 in every single category as well. That makes me feel happy about that overall in the season. So we're doing pretty good this season with everything here. Want to be able to keep up that process. So let's see if we can keep things going here with Week 11. So let's see. So without further ado, let's see who we got. Alright, without further ado here, we do have to check out the NFL Week 11 bye week teams. This is where we do this every single week. We get to talk about the teams, what position that they are, what's looking around and moving forward here. I think this week is pretty much straightforward here. We got the Colts and the Saints on the bye week here. The Saints, I'm gonna start with the Saints. The Saints got a good win. They got a good win last week over Carolina, but it's just really nothing to expect in New Orleans right now. Their offense doesn't look good. Their defense does not look good. Yes, they did beat the Panthers last week, which was kind of unexpected, to be completely honest with you. But they got the job done somehow. They ended up winning that game. The Colts are playing really well right now. It's a surprise. The Colts, I'll give the Colts a lot of credit. They're probably the most surprising team in the NFL this season. Where they 8-2 going into the bye week. So the Colts, they really got to be feeling good about themselves. Going into the bye week, they're leading the AFC right now. They're leading the division right now. So I think this week for bye week teams is pretty similar. I do not know who's on the bye next week, but I'm pretty sure there's just more teams than two of these two. But like I said, make sure you guys check us out every single week for analytics predictions video. We really do appreciate it every single Thursday if you guys are new to the channel. But yeah, those are just the things that we do this week. So yeah, I gotta say, Indiana, New Orleans, enjoy your bye week, and we'll see you guys next week. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into the games here. Starting off here, we had Thursday Night Football, of course. We have the start of it every single week, maybe except for 1 week this week. But anyway, we have the Jets and the Patriots here, and let's just go ahead and call it, because listen, there's a lot of good games this week, and I think even though the Jets have won 2 straight games, this is going to be my ass beating of the week. Our first award early here on a Thursday night, which is something we don't normally do here on the channel. We don't normally have a lot of awards going out first game of the day here, but this is the one I'm comfortable about here. The Patriots should be able to kick the Jets' ass, have to win this game 34-13. Nice, man. This one to be close. The Patriots have been playing really well. Obviously, they're 8-2. Well, they won 7 straight games. The team's been dominant. Their defense has been great. Their offense has been great. I think this one's just a plain simple explanatory. I mean, the Patriots are just a better team. This game's in Foxborough. Now the Jets, like they won the last 2 games off the bye week, so the Jets really have like 3 straight winnings. Well, I'm going to count the bye week as their winning streak too. So they had like 3 straight weeks where they've been at least winning and not losing. So maybe that's a little bit of confidence in there. But I don't think Justin Fields, the Jets passing offense is terrible. I think they only thrown like 50 something. What was it? 50 something receiving yards in the last couple weeks. So I just don't like what I'm seeing for the Jets. This is just a better team playing against one of the worst teams in the league. I think there's just really not much to say about this one. I just think this one's going to be an ass kicking. The Patriots, in the way how I'm explaining it, they should be able to cover that 11.5. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised that the spread is that high, but yeah, as I said, the Patriots are a better team wearing the rival uniform. There's just really nothing to explain here. But one thing I can say is the Jets, they are missing Garrett Wilson. He's going to be out for this game. I did not know that until, well, I didn't know to confirm it until I checked this morning. So yeah, Garrett Wilson's going to be out. Jets offense is going to be a little stall. I'm not really expecting them to do much. Maybe just run the football the entire game. Jet passing attack has been absolutely horrible for the Jets. So this game here, got to go with the Patriots, win this one. They should be able to win this one pretty comfortably. This game should really be over by halftime, but we'll see. Thursday Night Football has been extremely weird so far this year. Over 43.5, feel pretty good about everything here, but the Patriots should be able to give us a pretty dominant ass kicking here on Thursday Night Football. Next one here, we got the Commanders going into Miami. Well, this game is not in Miami. This game is in Spain. But anyway, here, I think there's a lot of scenarios this game could go. And I was really thinking about taking Washington here. I really was thinking about it. Because you know how the Dolphins are. The Dolphins, they look like they should be better. They should be better than what they are right now. Overall, the Dolphins, they're probably one of the more inconsistent teams in all of football. And then now you have to go into Spain. Like how the Dolphins have been this year, they're just inconsistent. They go out there and embarrass themselves against a team that should beat at home. And then you go out last week and beat the Bills in Buffalo. You know, Washington, I don't know how long Jane Daniels is going to be out, but they need him to be back like immediately. And it's unfortunate for him because, you know, he keeps getting injured every single week. They can't really help it. But originally in this game, I was going to go Miami anyway because I just can't trust Washington's defense, especially in the secondary. Washington just gave up 44 points last week and an ass kicking against the Lions last week. But I got to go with Dolphins to win this game. I said the way how the Dolphins performed last week, it looks like they're showing a little bit of life. I like how they played last week. They played with motivation, enthusiasm. Like what I saw last week from the Dolphins in the win over the Bills. And the Commanders, like I said yesterday, they're looking like a team that's just going downhill. It just feels like nothing's rising up to the occasion for them. By the way, I am gonna put this as the worst game of the week because it was really hard for me to pick what was the worst game this week, and I just think this one would be it out of any of them. So I'm gonna go worst game of the week, but you can make a legitimate argument about that. I just don't trust Washington's defense, especially in the secondary and the safety. I don't trust it. Jaylen Waddle performed pretty well last week. I think he can have a big hit. I think he can have a big day against his Washington defense, as well as Stephon Achane. Washington's run defense has not really been good. Overall, Washington's defense has been pretty terrible so far this year. So it just feels like Stephon Achane, Jaylen Waddle, as long as Tua plays about the same level as he did last week, I think the Dolphins should be able to come out here and get a win. It won't be easy. I do think Washington can keep this one competitive. Not really expecting a blowout here because it's the Dolphins. The Dolphins are kind of hard to pick this year, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins to win this game. They win the 123-20. And I don't know about the under in this game. I was thinking about it, but I can see the Dolphins throwing a whole bunch of points. Washington defense sucks. So under 47, that could be a little bit of a risk taker there, but I'm gonna go for it. And at Miami minus 2.5, that's just too low for me to pick Washington to win this game. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm surprised that the Dolphins are not favored by more than this. But yeah. Anyway, I forgot to put the game up there, top. But the Dolphins, as long as Tua plays the way he does, Stephon Achane, Jaylen Waddle, I think that them the three alone, and how Washington's defense has been is basically the decision-making pick for me here. By the way, I forgot to say this. I forgot to say this before I even got started here. I have the correct order for this one. This is like the ESPN order, which I normally go by. So, anyway, just letting you guys know about that. According to Pick Show, because if you guys checked out the Pick Show yesterday, I did not have the teams in the right order. So, that's my bet on that one. But we had every game. Falcons at Carolina. I'm going to go with the Falcons to win this one 27-21. But this pick kind of scares me a little bit because how inconsistent both of these two teams are. Obviously, I talked about Carolina. I talked about them a couple of videos ago, and I said that Carolina, this was a must-need win. They had to go out there, spank the shit out of the Saints last week, take care of business at home, and they did not do that. They shit the bed. They played terrible. Their offense was actually terrible for the first time in like I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks. So yeah, the very disappointing performance there out of the Panthers overall, and I can still see them winning this game because of how inconsistent Atlanta is. Atlanta's probably one of the most inconsistent teams in football. And then last time the two teams met, I remember I picked the Falcons to win, and then the Panthers just went out there and just completely kicked the living shit out of them. Like the game just felt like it was over since halftime. And I think Atlanta's going to have some revenge here. Atlanta normally plays well in Atlanta, so you got to think about the perspective. Carolina's not really that good of a road team, so that was first leading me towards Atlanta. The second one is I think Bijan Robinson's going to have a bounce back. Yes, he was kind of in and out these last couple of weeks, but I do think he bounces back here. Carolina's run defense has actually been pretty solid so far this year, but I think Bijan, the way how he reacted to the post game show, I think he's gonna have a big day here. And there's just a couple questions that we do have to monitor about the Panthers, about how consistent can they be offensively, how can passing attack be. Bryce Young did not look that good last week, but that's the first time he hasn't looked that good since the winning streak that's been going on there for Carolina. So there's a lot of uncertainties for this game. There's just a lot of uncertainties that I just don't know what's going on with either team right now. Both teams are not consistent at all. So this is just like a gut punching pick here. Rico Dowdle can have a big day here too. I'm worried about that. I think the running backs are going to have a big day here on this one. But at the end of the day here, I mean, if Atlanta plays the way how Atlanta is supposed to play, and they're at home in this game looking for revenge, coming by the Bears and showing for Atlanta, I expect Atlanta to win it. So I'm going to go 27-21. This is a big game here for the division as well. If Panthers win this game, Buccaneers lose, what I'm predicting this week, then things could be a lot more interesting. So I think this game actually means more to the Panthers here. Like I said, situational football is going to come into play sooner or later. But at the end of the day here, I'm going to take the Falcons to win it. They win this one 27-21. I have this one being pretty close. Spread pick, not much for me to pick Carolina there. And an over 42.5. This game feels like it should hit. Like I said, I think Falcons can bounce back offensively. I think the Panthers can also bounce back offensively. I think both teams can score the rock, put some points on the board. So I'm feeling pretty good about that over 42.5. These are two offenses that needs to bounce back. So at the end of the day here, I'm going to take the Falcons to win here in Atlanta. Now we got the Bucks at the Bills here. This is a tough one to pick. Actually, this was kind of one of the hardest ones to pick here, and I think I just kind of snitched it. This is my trickiest game of the week. I was originally going back and forth with this one, but I'm gonna lean towards the Bills. I'm leaning towards the Bills in the bounce back game. They win this one 28-24. I can see anybody winning this. Realistically, I can see anybody winning this. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looked alright offensively last week, but they do had to this dude. I mean, these two teams are kind of in the similar boat right now. They're both good teams that have plenty of offensive weapons. Who is struggling at the moment defensively right now? Tampa Bay. They normally start I think that, like I said yesterday, I think the matchup favors Tampa Bay though. Like if you just look at it on paper, I think this matchup favors Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay, look at it, they did not stop the run last week. They did not, but that's what they're normally good at. They're normally good at stopping the run here. And the Bills are not. I talked about this all over the place, and people are still getting on me for it, which I don't know why. But the Bills are one of the worst teams in the league in stopping the run. They look like they're one of the worst teams. Let's just look at what Stephon Achane did to him last week. But anyway, in this one here, like I said, I can see this one being close. I think it'll be a good game here. I think it'll be crazy. Both teams are looking for a bounce back, so I'm kind of expecting both offenses to bounce back here. That's why I'm feeling pretty good about the over. The over 47.5, I feel pretty good about that. Both teams really need to do a bounce back here. Not pretty much for Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay actually played pretty well offensively last week. They just fell short. The Bills did not. The Bills only put up 10, 13 points last week. So I think the Bills will bounce back at home. If this game is in Tampa Bay, I would take the Bucks. I really would. But it's in Buffalo. I'm going to get in the size here, wearing those retro uniforms. I think they get the job done here. It's not going to be easy, but I think that they can get the job done here at home. If Baker wins this game for the Bucks, I would not be surprised. If I get this pick wrong, I would not be surprised. That's why this is the trickiest game of the week. I can see this one going either way. And like I said, the matchup here on paper favors the Bucks. So if you want to pick the Bucks, I completely understand it. I get it, but I'm not going to do that this week. I'm going to go with the Bills to get the bounce back win here at home. But I will tell you what, I am comfortable about taking the Bucs with the points. Plus 5.5, I think that's too much. The Bills, they have not really been that consistent so far this year, and they have not really been that consistent on defense at all this year. So I'm going to lean towards the Bucs with the points, and I also do think the Bucs have a great shot at winning this game. So that's why I'm leaning towards the Bucs with the points, and I actually feel pretty good about that. But overall, I got a 4-point game here, 24-28. I got the Bills merging ahead, but I really do feel good about every one of these picks for this game. So Josh Allen bounces back, James Cook bounces back, the whole team bounces back. They get a win that they definitely do need right now to stay like in contention with the Patriots. Also, I forgot to talk about that. When you talk about the matchup here in situational football, this game means more to the Bills because Tampa Bay already kind of has that division already wrapped up. I mean, unless Carolina beats Atlanta, but yeah, Buffalo. And this game needs to catch up with the Patriots, so I got them with the dub here. Next up, we have Houston taking on against Tennessee. This will be a quick one here. I got Houston taking care of business here, 27-10 here. Not the ass beating of the week not the ass beating of the week. It was a contender, but I didn't give it to them for this one. I ended up going with the Jets and Patriots for that one. But for this one here, as I said, there's really nothing to explain here. The Tennessee Titans, they're one of the worst teams in the league. Yes, they're coming out the bye, but yeah, they're still one of the worst teams in the league. They are at home in this one, coming up the bye week, and I was originally going to play this one if I picked show. I was like, I was going to say something like Tennessee coming up the bye week. They're looking, maybe they get something going here, but I'm taking the Texans, something like that. I was playing to fool y'all, but I decided not to for that one. But anyway, here I got Texans winning 27-10. This should be a pretty quick explanation here. The Texans are the better team here. They even though their offense still has some concerns, and I think everybody can say that comfortably. Texans offense still looks a little slow, still has some concerns in there, but I just feel like as long as they can move the ball the way how they did in the fourth quarter against Jacksonville, it's a pretty good defensive team to run. So as long as they get to go Davis Mills or whoever plays for. Now, if CJ Stroud plays in this game, I would be more comfortable with the pick here. I mean, with Davis, I'm picking the Texans regardless here, but it comes down to the spread pick. I think that's what. If Davis Mills plays, I might take Tennessee with the points at plus 6.5, but actually, never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the Texans either or minus 6.5. I just feel like they should be able to cover that. We'll be kind of shocked that they didn't here. I'm going to go under 37.5. It's just because of the uncertainty in this game. Tennessee's main strength on this team is their defense, and even though their defense is not really that good, so maybe they get something going here. Maybe Tennessee figures some stuff out the bye week. Maybe they keep this game more entertaining than originally, but I'm not going to go for it. Houston's the better team. I don't really see Tennessee scoring a lot of points this week. That's why we're going to go with 10. I think Houston's defense plays a factor here, and I'm not really expecting Tennessee's offense to generate, especially how good this Houston's defense has been playing. So just knowing the defense and the better team in the matchup here, Houston should be able to get this win, get a little bit closer in the division, and this is a big game for Houston. Houston needs to win this game. Next up, we got the Bears and the Vikings. Definitely one of the harder games to pick this week. I actually was going to get my trickiest game of the week, but I did not decide to go with that one. I went to go with the Bucs and Bills for this one, but this one was a strong contender as well here. I'm actually going to lean towards Minnesota to win this one. I know this is kind of a risk here because if you look at the two teams who's been playing better overall this year, I mean the Bears. I think the Bears have been playing a little bit better overall this year, and I know that my pick here is kind of a risk taker here. But I'm feeling the Minnesota here. I'm feeling them to bank. I'm going to go 26-23. I'm going to go field goal game here. I don't think this game was just tough to pick because, like I said, the Bears they're playing better. But at the same time, the Bears also. When I look at the Chicago Bears, they got their offense is rolling, right? Their offense is rolling. Looks like they have multiple weapons in there. I do have concerns about their defense. However, I do have concerns about their defense. Their defense actually hasn't been that great so far this season. And if you take a look at teams like the Minnesota Vikings, they're playing. The Vikings are in and out. They're so in and out. They're inconsistent. They're not really playing that well right now. But with this game being in the bank, back-to-back games in the bank, I do think they'll get one here. If Minnesota would have won last week, I probably would have picked Chicago to win this game, to be completely honest with y'all. But anyway, I'm kind of expecting this one to be close. These are two teams that really need to get the job done. Bears have been rolling. I think the Bears have won 6 out of the last 7 games here. And this game just feels like a trap game. Minnesota, that's why Vegas does have Minnesota favored for a reason. We think it's going to be a trap. Bears are not really that good on defense right now. I think Minnesota's offense can bounce back. But they need to play better overall. They need to play better. Their offense needs to play better. Their offense needs to be more consistent here. And I think that's what we're gonna see. So I'm gonna take the Vikings to win this one 26-23. Like I said, this is kind of like a toss-up game. If I'm being completely honest, this is a complete toss-up game. But I'm gonna lean towards the Vikings in this one. I'm gonna take the over 47.5 here. I mean that one's tough. I think that the Bears can score on Minnesota. Sure, the Bears are probably gonna be looking for revenge on Minnesota, so that's probably what's leading me towards the Bears here. Like I said, this is a toss-up game. Go who would you want to here. But I'm going to lean towards Minnesota. Back-to-back games at home. Like I don't think they lose this game. I don't think they find a way to lose it. I can see it, but I don't see them finding a way to lose this game. Minnesota minus 3.5. Vegas says something here. And there's one more game or multiple games that we're getting to this week, but my pick here was the home team. Literally, like whoever was home was going to take them here. And this is one of those games that I had to pick this week. So damn, this is going to be a really good game here, but I'm going to lean towards Minnesota because of the home team. That's pretty much all I got here. Yes, the Bears have been playing better, but I'm going to go with the Vikings to bounce back and get a win here at home. But this one's kind of risky, though. All right, next up, let's bring us to the Big Apple here, where we got the Packers going into the Big Apple to face the Giants here. I gotta go with the Packers here. I'm gonna win. I think they will squeak this one out 24-13 here. I'm not really expecting an offensive masterclass for Green Bay because Green Bay was, oh my god, if you watched that Monday Night Football game last week, then I apologize in advance to you. But Green Bay's offense was absolutely dumpster fire last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. I know the Eagles overall are a pretty good defensive team, but I expected the Packers to throw more points than that, and more points than 7, and they did not. They embarrassed themselves. The offense didn't look good. Actually, no, it was 10 points. I don't know. It was either 10 or 7 points. I don't know. But regardless here, that you guys scored more points than that. And I do think they will this week against New York. New York has Jackson Dart injured. I think he had a concussion last week, and I kind of feel bad for the man. So I think it's going to be Jameis Winston starting. And Jameis Winston, if you guys haven't heard of his career, Jameis Winston loves heaving the ball up. What I mean heaving, I mean he'll take some deep shots on the field here. But playing against Green Bay, I just don't think that's the matchup for it. I think the Packers defense was phenomenal last week. That's not why they lost the game. They lost the game because their offense couldn't generate anything. They couldn't do anything on that side of the floor here. And then, playing against the Giants are also a pretty solid defensive team here. They got some good guys. They got some guys like they got some guys that like down there in that D lineman. So I do like the Giants defense. I do think they should be able to contain Green Bay. Not as much as I expect them to lose the game. Like I said, I expect the Packers to bounce back here and win the game, but the Giants, they could do some stuff here offensively every now and then. That's why I got scoring 13 points here. But the Packers defense played phenomenal last week. I think everything what I'm trying to explain here is why I'm leaning towards the under in this game at 43.5. Because I think both defenses will have a heyday here. I'm not really expecting offense. We've seen Green Bay, they're a little bit inconsistent offensively this last couple of weeks. They've been a little bit inconsistent there. Giants offense hasn't really been that good. I mean, if they don't have Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston, or Russell Wilson, they just haven't really been that good offensively at all. I mean, them two. If Jackson Dart's not in, it just feels like their offense goes down to the rock bottom here. So I feel pretty good about the under taking this one. I'm going to take Green Bay with the points, don't by 7.5. I don't think that's enough. I think Green Bay is significantly the better team here. They should be able to bounce back, get the job done here on the road. And this is a big game for Green Bay because no one in the division, and the Giants are just kind of out of their division right now. Looking forward to next season, so I'll pick the Green Bay Packers to get the win here, get closer in their division. And maybe if the Lions lose, maybe they get a little bit lucky with the Lions losing. But I picked them to win. Like I said, we'll talk about them later this week. But Green Bay bounce back game out on the road playing against the Giants. The better offensive team is going to win here, and I think that's Green Bay. Even though they've been more inconsistent, but the Packers should be a business right game coming here, take care of business, get the job done, move forward. So expecting a big bounce back game here for the Packers. Next up, we got the Bengals at the Steelers here, and I have an all-classic shootout. I think this game is going to be kind of like similar to what happened last time these two teams played in Cincinnati, but I'm going to go with a different outcome here. Last time it was a shootout, and Cincinnati ended up winning that game. This time, I'm going to have the same result. I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to take the Steelers. I think they find a way to win this one, 34-28. I talked about these two teams the first time that they met. I was kind of, last time I did pick the Steelers to win this game, and I think that was kind of a risk. kind of a risk because, playing Thursday Night Football, the Thursday Night Football overall, I already talked about this once, but Thursday Night Football has been weird so far this season. Just it just feels like the upset teams, or the teams they ain't supposed to win, they always win. But like I said, I was comfortable about the Patriots this week. But Steelers and Bengals here, both teams are inconsistent. Both teams are very inconsistent. I do think the Steelers are a good team. I think they are, but they're inconsistent as hell. I think we seen that last week. They did not. Steelers played like shit last week. Defensively, they played well. The Chargers scored 25 points, but their defense was spectacular. Like, their defense was just getting stopped at the stop, forcing field goals and not touchdowns. So I give a lot of credit to the Steelers defense. I think they're starting to play. They're starting to turn it up a little bit on that side of the ball. They're starting to play like how they're supposed to play, how we all know the love they're supposed to play. And playing in this game against Cincinnati, now they're not gonna stop Cincinnati. Cincinnati's obviously gonna score. Cincinnati has one of the best offenses of football. But I'm saying this because I do think Joe Flacco is gonna play. I think he is gonna play. So Joe Flacco plays. I'm gonna keep my score 34-28. I do think the Bengals are capable of throwing points with Joe Flacco. And that we did hear this week that Joe Burrow got back on the practice field, so we'll see how long it takes for him to ramp up. I think it was like another 3 weeks, something like that. I think we're going to see him when we get more towards Thanksgiving here, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to take the Steelers here. They're at home. This is a tough environment going into Pittsburgh, which is probably one of the hardest places to play in the NFL. This is just tough. Like I said, I think the Steelers offense will bounce back. Playing against one of the worst defenses in all of football, in the Cincinnati Bengals. I expect the Steelers offense to bounce back, put a monster points on the board like they did the first meeting, but this time ultimately winning the game. So I'm gonna lean towards the Steelers here. They're the home team in this game. This game, like I said, this game isn't playing in Cincinnati. I would take the Bengals, but it's at home. It's in Pittsburgh. Their offense should be able to bounce back. They're playing against one of the worst defensive teams in football. It's going to be a shootout. Like I said, I think this one's going to be the same outcome here, but I have Pittsburgh winning the game here. Pick the home team to win the game. Over 49.5. I think you should smash that. Bet on that. Actually, I would bet on that if you would. If you want to bet on that, that's not a bad bet at all. Steelers minus 4.5. I mean, the spread could go either way on this game, because I can see this game being a field goal game or just come down to like a field goal. But I think that's too low for me to pick the Bengals. I'm not going to trust it's the Bengals defense, who can't even get a stop on the football field. We saw that against the Bears. We saw that in all the shootout games that they lost this year. It's just too many. So in that case, also I'm going to lean towards the Steelers at home, getting the job done here and bouncing back. Next up, we got the Chargers playing the Jags, and like I said yesterday, this reminds me of that playoff game, the historic playoff game where Jacksonville was down, were getting their asses, the snap pounding, and all of a sudden they came back from that snap pounding and ended up advancing to the divisional round, which was a wild card matchup. So just looking at this game, it's just keep thinking me, reminding me of that. But this time here, I'm gonna go with the opposite direction of that outcome here. I'm gonna take the Chargers, even though I do think it'll be a good game still. I'm gonna take the Chargers to win this one 27-23. The Chargers, even though they won last week, they looked a little bit out of sorts offensively. It just looked like, and give credit to the Steelers. Like I said, the Steelers defense is supposed to be good. This is what the Steelers defense is supposed to be. So, and the Chargers do have an offensive outlier night. That was going to be the night, right? And the Steelers defense is going to bounce back in this one. I kind of expect them to get going as the year progresses, as we get closer into playoff time here. But the Chargers, I think they need to win this game. So I'm going to take them here 27-23. Yes, Jacksonville does need to win this game too, because purposes in their division, there's still a chance that they can overcome the Colts in that division, especially if they go on about down here, which is not looking like it right now. But Chargers, I do think they should, even though the Jacksonville is another good defensive team here, and I do think the Jaguars might cause the Chargers some problems, and I can see that, because like I said, Jacksonville, they're one of the best teams in the league at forcing turnovers. The Chargers have been a little bit suspicious on the road. Chargers have not been playing as good as on the road than they do at home, and maybe that has to do something with it. Maybe that's a game changer, a factor there. But I'm not going to trust it. I think the Chargers, I think they're going to bounce back. I think Justin Herbert bounce back. I think the running game bounces back here. Jacksonville can hang around the game. They're at home. Their defense might force them to a couple turnovers. I can see turnovers being a key factor in this game. Whoever takes care of the football most is going to win the game here. So I'm going to trust the Chargers in that perspective here. Jacksonville lost a game to the Texans last week that they absolutely needed to win. You have a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter, and you lose that one. You know what I mean? Like, if you lose that one, which one can we really trust you to win games? So that was kind of suspicious from the Jags. Let me tell you, if the Jags would have hung around, if the Jags would have won that game against Houston, and we probably shouldn't be saying won it was should at this point. We're just saying if you guys did win this game, I would probably pick the Jags here because they're home. They're coming off motivation here. The Chargers have been a little bit suspicious on the road. So if you win that, if Jacksonville comes away with that game, I might pick them. I might pick them to win this game here, but I'm not going to. They just blew a 19-point lead. Well, how can I pick a team that just blew a 19-point lead against one of the worst offensive teams in football? I mean, it's just hard. I mean, Jacksonville, that was just a game that you needed to win, and you didn't do it. So I'm going to take the Chargers and win this one. Chargers minus 2.5. I mean, I can see why the spread's that low, but the Chargers are the better team here and a more consistent team. I'll take them to win this one. Over 43.5, that feels like a gift. I mean, I wouldn't bet on it because there's multiple ways that this game could go, but just the way how it is, I probably would go with that margin. But kind of, so Chargers bounce back here on the road, get the job done, even though they're a little suspicious on the road. I do think that they should be able to clean some stuff up from last week, fix it all up, and get the job done here in Jacksonville. Oh shit. Next up we have Seattle taking on the Los Angeles Rams, and let's just go ahead and bring it up to us right now. This is by far the best game of the week. This is probably the best game of the year. And, I mean, this has potential to be game of the year, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is going to be an absolute clash, an absolute boxing match. I cannot wait to watch this game. And let me tell you, I will, as a Rams fan, I will have some popcorn with me watching this game. I'm gonna have some popcorn. I'm gonna be eating it. I'm gonna have a soda. Like, this game is going to be absolutely madness. And this is a big game because both teams are tied for the lead in the division. Winner takes the lead in their divisions. This is huge because this could determine the number one seed and NFC possibility. So this is a really big game here for both teams. I actually gonna defend my guys here. I'm gonna take the Rams to win here 31 to 28. I'm expecting this one to be a boxing match from start to finish. I'm expecting no lead to be further than 10 points the whole time of the game. Seattle, they've been incredible this year. I give a lot of credit to Seattle. Overall this year they've been fantastic. Their defense has been absolutely spectacular. Their offense, Sam Darnold, they have been absolutely spectacular. They've been able to move the football with will. Their defense is forcing turnovers, and they're coming off of a pretty dumb. Both of these two teams coming off pretty dominant outings last week. Seattle took care of business against Arizona. Ended up smacking their asses pretty good, and that game really felt like it was over since the first half. So Seattle taking care of business there. Rams coming off a dominant performance against the 49ers. Now that game was a different outcome. It didn't feel like it was over since halftime, but it just felt like they just felt like the Rams were just in command the whole time of the game. So both teams look dominant. Both teams have good offenses. Both teams got good defenses here. In a game like this, you know, when Seattle's offense really good, Rams offense dominant. Matthew Stafford's playing like an MVP right now. Sam Darnold's getting it done for Seattle. And you would look at the defensive side of the ball. Seahawks defense, what do? They force turnovers. They're really good at stopping the pass. They could be a little bit suspicious stopping the run, but they do a pretty good job overall on defense. Rams, they have one of the nastiest fronts in the league. I think they tied for one of the more sacks in football. I think they forced the more sacks in football. Their defense is dominant. Their secondary is getting a lot better. I think that in a game like this, when just the teams are just equal, you just gotta lean towards the home team in this scenario. You just gotta lean towards the home team. So that's what I'm gonna do here. The Rams are wearing those rival uniforms. Cannot wait to watch that. And that's gonna be very exciting here. And like I said, I'm kind of expecting a close game here. But guys, understand me when I say about this. If Seattle was the home team here, like I said, if Seattle was home, I would pick Seattle. I would pick against my guys. I would, if this game is in Seattle, I would pick against the Seahawks. Now, I know I normally don't pick against my guys a lot in a season. I don't. But if this game is in Seattle, I would pick the Seahawks to win it because I think the Seahawks are a dominant force at home. Even though the Rams are pretty damn good on the road too, I would pick Seattle to win that game. Like I said, this game, both teams both teams are just equal. The best two teams in football, in my opinion. Well, it should be y'all's opinion too, but this is my opinion here. Both of these two teams are the best team in football here. Right now, currently, I'm going to lean towards the Rams to win this one because they are the home team of the game, and I think that will make a difference. Seattle's actually been turning over the football. They turned over the football a little bit in the second half against the Cardinals last week, and the Rams do force a lot of turnovers this year. So I think the turnovers are going to be a massive factor in this game. Matthew Stafford has not been turning over the football that much, so I'm going to lean towards the Rams in that department. So that's kind of like my other reason why I'm going to go in the Rams here. Over 48.5, I feel pretty good about that. Rams minus 2.5, too low for me to pick. Seattle, even though I have this being a 3-point game, it's just too low. Vegas, I think this should be a 1.5 point favorite. But here anyway, it's close enough. Both teams should battle it out here. Cannot wait to watch this game. Get my popcorn on for this game. This should be a primetime game. Like I said, this game has no reason not to be a primetime game. But anyway, here I'm going to take the Rams to get this weaker here against Seattle. But this is a huge game for both teams, and I cannot wait to watch this game. Next up here, we have San Francisco taking on against Arizona here in another NFC West battle here. Where I have San Francisco bouncing back and getting the job done 27-20 here. Listen, I was originally going to go with the Cardinals in this game. I was originally because they're going out home, they're wearing the black uniforms, they're getting set. Maybe they got some motivation for this game, but last time I checked, and this was a deciding factor for me. If you look at the Cardinals, they've been pretty consistent offensively. I mean, not consistently wise good, but they've been able to score some points on the board. They've been able to get some points on the board. But I recently looked at this game, and the last time I checked, Jacoby Brissett was going to be the starter the starter, as well as Kyler Murray is going to be out. And I actually do think Jacoby Brissett should be the starter moving forward. I think I talked about that in weeks prior. But the deciding factor for me in this game, I was really going to go with Arizona 27-20, but then I also saw that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be out for this game, so to me, I think that's going, even though you could make a legitimate argument that he hasn't really been that efficient so far this year, Marvin Harrison Jr. I know Trey McBride is probably the leader of that offense, but I just think Arizona's missing too many guys. They're missing too many offensive weapons. They're already missing Kyler Murray. They're already missing James Conner. They're already missing Marvin Harrison Jr. I just think that's too many offensive weapons. And you're playing against a team in San Francisco who put up a pretty decent fight with the Rams last week. Yeah, I know they got their asses whooped kind of, but they put up a decent fight. They put up a decent fight. They scored 26 points. Their offense looked pretty damn good overall because it just, as a Rams fan, I just felt like that game was never over because the San Francisco were just putting up points in the second half. It's on the Rams answer they answered. So if San Francisco can just go out there and put a couple points on the board, and I think they can find a way to win this one. 27-20 here. I actually like what I saw from San Francisco's offense last week. Not for the defense, but that was against the LA Rams. This time you're playing against the Cardinals team that's kind of limited on weapons here. So I think the advantage is leaning me towards San Francisco. But at the same time, Arizona's at home. Their defense has been pretty good so far this year. So there is a scenario that Arizona still could wind up winning this game. I don't think their defense is going to stop Trey McBride. So there is some optimism there for the Cardinals there. But Marvin Harrison Jr. out was basically the main difference for me. That's why I'm going to take San Francisco to come out of here to get the job done and still be in contention for that division, because somebody has to lose to the Rams and Seattle. Somebody has to lose. So this is a big game here for the Niners to win. So they bounce back. CMC, George Kittle, they both looked good last week. They should be able to continue to look good against the Cardinals here, as I got the Niners bouncing back. Next up, Ravens at Cleveland. I got Baltimore taking your business here 26-14 and another road win for the road team here. I think this one will be quick. I think this one will be a quick explanation here too. The Ravens, they're heating up. They look like one of the better teams in football over the stretch of when they've been heating up. This team looks good. They look in rhythm, and they look like that they're back. They look like they're back to playing the complimentary football that we all kind of expect them to play. The Ravens, they're pretty damn good right now. They're good. They can stop the run now. Now their defense is getting healthier. They're getting better. And Cleveland just lost to the Jets, which is probably which is embarrassing. Anytime you lose to the Jets is embarrassing. But Cleveland, their defense is not even the problem here. Their defense is still one of the best in football. It's just their offense. Their offense can't generate enough points. They turn over the football way too much. I believe that's why. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think that's the main reason why they lost to the Jets last week, because they kept turning over the football too much here. But Baltimore, I mean, they should be able to get the job done here. The way they're playing, Lamar Jackson was good. The whole offense looks fluid with Lamar Jackson back. Even though this could be a trickier matchup playing against a really good defense in Cleveland. So I can see this one being a defensive war. And that's why I do see Vegas. Maybe Vegas thinks that. That's why the line for this game is only 39.5, because maybe he thinks this is going to be one of those defensive games. Both teams' defenses are good. Normally when Baltimore goes to Cleveland, they kind of do struggle a little bit on offense. But if this game is in Baltimore, I would kind of pick this one to be like 37 to 14, something like that. But since it's in Cleveland, and that could be a little bit of a trap game scenario, I'm going to go with 26. I still think the Ravens are still capable of throwing points here. Cleveland's defense has been good overall in the year, but but their main weakness on that side of the ball is against the pass, and I think that's what Lamar Jackson loves to do a lot, and I do think that he will do in its matchup here. So I'm going to take the Ravens here 26 to 14. I know that's kind of a weird score, but it's just plain simple explanation. The Ravens are the better offensive team, and this game is going to come down to offense, because I think both defenses are starting to play better, especially the Ravens here. So over 39.5, feel pretty good about. Like I said, Vegas knows something there. I get it, but I believe in this game we get the over in that margin. And Baltimore minus 8.5. I think that's a good pick. Pick here for this one. So plain simple explanation here. Ravens are heating up. Look like one of the best teams in the league. I don't think Cleveland, who just lost to the Jets, are going to stop the Ravens. So I'm going to take the Ravens. Next up, Kansas City at Denver here. I'm going to go with KC. I think they find a way to win. I'm going to go 24 to 21. Kind of expecting this game to be really entertaining for me on this one. But this is one of those games that I can just see it going either way. Denver's overall has been good this season. They've been on a winning streak. Their defense has been absolutely spectacular. But when you look at it, this is one of those picks that situational football has to come into play here. The Chiefs really do not have a margin for error anymore, right? They already lost 4 games. It's like they need to win. They need to win here, and I do think they will do just that. Even though it's a tough matchup, Denver's defense has been really good. Denver's been on a winning streak here. But one thing suspicious I can say about the Broncos is that their offense has not been that good. Like their offense has been a little bit overwhelming here. Bo Nix looks a little bit out of sort right now. Will Bo Nix get back into formation here? I'm not sure, because he did not play well last week. And he had a pretty, according to me, he had a pretty damn easy matchup last week in the Raiders, and he did not really take advantage of that. Yeah, Denver did win the game, but their offense did not look good. And overall this season, I think we've seen many times this season, that Denver's offense has looked pretty damn suspicious over the course of the year. And then you're playing against a team like the Chiefs, who's coming off the bye. Chiefs are normally pretty good during the bye. They normally win their games coming off the bye, and I think they're gonna come in this game focused. So this is just kind of one of those expectations that Denver can afford losses right now. They got the leader in the division. Yeah, the Chargers are right behind their ass, but they can afford a loss. If you just look at that division, they already have 8 wins. They only have 2 losses. This is a game that I think the winning streak is going to end here. Even though the Broncos' winning streak, I think it's been great. If they win this game, it will be even greater. I think this is a good test for Denver to see who they really are and see if they're going to be a really threat. Like, if you want to beat the Chiefs, you got to go through the Chiefs. And I think that this is a big game for Denver. If Denver wins this game, then that's going to say a lot. That's going to say a lot about the team that they are, and that will be a really good thing moving forward here. But I'm not going to trust it here. I think the Chiefs coming here focused. I think they come out. They have to win this game. Chiefs just feel like they have to win games right now, especially these division games. They have a lot of division games coming up. I think they need to win all of them. So I'm going to take the Chiefs here, 24-21 here. But kind of expecting both defenses to play a factor here, and I believe both offenses will play a factor here. The decision making for me here was in crunch time. In crunch time, I'm going to trust Patrick Mahomes to get the job done here. So I'm going to 24-21 here, over 44.5. I feel pretty good about that. KC minus 3.5 could be a little bit risky. Maybe I might pick Denver to win it, because Denver has a great chance to win. This is in the altitude, but I think Kansas City, they come here focused, collective, and I think they get the job done here. But this is going to be a good game as well. Now we have Detroit at Philly. This is my 1-point game of the week. The absolute 1-point game of the week. I know you guys been looking for it all video. But yeah, this is the 1-point game of the week. I'm going to take Detroit to win this one 28 to 27. And there's a lot of factors with this game. There's a lot of things that we can talk about here. We can talk about the offense. We can talk about the defense. We can talk about Dan Campbell's play calling. We can talk about all that stuff, right? Overall, I mean, I'm gonna start with the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles did lose the Eagles did win last week against the Packers. I mean, give credit to that, going into Lambeau, beating the Packers, probably one of the hardest stadiums to win, but it's hardest stadiums to get it winning, and they did that. So I'll give them a lot of credit here. And the Eagles are at home, so that's what's kind of scary about this one. Like I said, if you guys haven't checked out our pick show yesterday, make sure to do that, because this was a surprise. I'm surprised the way how this game went, but anyway, here, like I said, the Eagles here, the Eagles are a pretty good defensive team, right? I already praised about their defense when I was talking about the Packers just a minute ago. Their defense is spectacular, but the problem is for the Eagles here that I don't know what's going on with AJ Brown. I don't know what's going on with him. He says he has some disconnection with the Eagles or whatever that stuff. So I don't know what's going on with him. I do think the Eagles are going to trade him, but that's not my deciding factor in this game. My deciding factor, which team I think is more consistent on offense. And right now, I think that answer is the Detroit Lions. I do not like what I'm seeing from the Eagles offense so far this year. I do not like what I'm seeing out of them. Jalen Hurts is a little bit inconsistent with when he passes or when he throws the ball or when he runs the ball. I mean, I don't like what I'm seeing on the Eagles offense. I really don't, and I can't believe I'm saying that, because the Eagles was one of the best offensive teams in all of football just a season ago with the same weapons. So if you look at the average practice, like what the fuck? But the Eagles offense is suspicious. Main thing I don't like about the Eagles offense is I just don't like how they're playing. Their defense is playing pretty good. Their offense is good, but it's just inconsistent. You're playing against a team like Detroit. You're gonna need to put some points on the board, and I do think they will in this matchup. Detroit's defense is overall against the run has been pretty good, but man, I just feel like I don't think Saquon Barkley's just having a year. AJ Brown's not having a year. The receivers not having really a year. They only put up 13 points last week. Like I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it for the Eagles in this one. Now this is risky, being played in Philadelphia on a primetime game. It's kind of risky. There is some risk involved with this, but I'm gonna go with Detroit because I'm gonna give them the slight edge. I think they have the more offensive consistency. I'm looking for in this game like this. I'm kind of like looking for those offensive consistency type rating here, and I think that's what Detroit is. Even though I do think that Philadelphia would keep this game close, and Vegas has the Eagles favorite, which I'm absolutely not shocked about. But the more consistent offensive team here, Detroit. I think St. Brown will have a big day, and I think it's going to be tough for the Eagles going up against Monroe St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs, and the running attack with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I think that's going to be a little bit tough. And Detroit, with Dan Campbell's play calling, I'll give a lot of credit. Dan Campbell's play calling looked pretty damn good last week over the win against the Commanders. So, and their offense looks like it's back to life with him running the show. So I kind of continue for him to get the play calling. Plus, the Eagles' decision making last week was absolutely terrible, coaching wise, decision making wise. So that's kind of another factor. I was going with Detroit here, so I'm going to take them 28-27. Overall, I kind of expect this game to be close, but the Eagles' decision making, man, that was bad last week. So I'm not going to talk about it. It was that bad. So I'm going to take Detroit over 46.5. Detroit with the spread here. Going to lean towards the Lions here to get the job done here on the road. But like I said, it could be risky because this is a road game for the Lions, which could be a little risky. But at the same time, I'm feeling good about it. I'm taking the risk. Give me Detroit. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Monday Night Football here, which is a game that, I mean, it could be entertaining, but it's just not the most entertaining thing that you ever want to watch for. Anyway, here we got Dallas taking on against the Vegas Raiders here. I think this one's a pretty simple explanation for me on this one here. I'm going to take Dallas to win this game 30-21 here. Overall, I'm kind of expecting this game to be somewhat close because, like I say it all the time. Anybody can throw up points on Denver. Dallas' defense has been one of the worst in football right now, and with the talent that Vegas has with Ashton Jeanty and Brock Bowers, I think the Raiders can throw up some points on the board. That's why I'm going to give them 21. Dallas defense sucks all around the board. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They really do. They're just a team that just can't really do anything out there. And when you look at this game, okay, maybe you lean towards Vegas. It's a Monday Night Football game. It's in Vegas, but even though you can't throw the rock on Dallas, and like I said, I'll say it again, anybody can throw the rock on Dallas. Anybody. Give any team every given Sunday. Anybody can throw some points. Anybody can throw the rock on the Cowboys. But the deciding factor for me in this game is I don't think that now. I know Dallas defense is not good, but the Raiders offense has been turning over the football a ton. When I mean a ton, I mean a ton. They've been turning over the football like crazy. Now they done do it now in recent weeks. They've done a pretty decent job, and maybe not turning good football or as much here. But when you look at it, it's like, oh my god, like how can I trust the Las Vegas Raiders? How can I trust them to generate points? How can I trust them? Like that's just the main question. Like how can I trust the Raiders to go out into a hospital environment? I mean, I know you're at home, but how can I trust you against a team like the Cowboys if your offense is that inconsistent and their offense was absolutely terrible last week? I know it was a tough matchup. They played Denver, but it was terrible. Like it just did not like what I saw. It was like one of the worst Thursday night football games I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, like I said, the Raiders offense, it was terrible last week. I do think they will throw some points this week, but I'm not expecting to win. I'm not expecting. Plus the Raiders defense, I mean, overall it's okay, but they got some stuff to worry about. They got to worry about Dak Prescott, Dallas coming off the bye week, and they got to worry about him, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, and I just don't think the Raiders have enough defensive weapons to overcome it or to watch to these guys. So gonna take Dallas. Sure, they got the more offensive weapons here. Like I said, I'm again expecting the Raiders to throw up points, but in order to beat Dallas, you got to be a good offensive team, and that's not what Vegas is right now. Yeah, sure, Vegas got options, Justin Denny and Brock Bowers, but besides that, they don't really have too much, and their offense looked pretty pitiful last week. So that's kind of like my main reason why I was going to go with Dallas to win this game regardless here. So I'm going to take it with the over 50 and a half in this one. Like I said, 30-21. I think both teams are live their score over here on Monday Night Football, and I'm going to take Dallas minus 3.5. But that's what I got for this week. So yeah, anyway, I'm kind of expecting Dallas to win that game off that perspective. So like I said, if you guys haven't heard everything, make sure you guys go check out our weekly pick show, all that. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here so I can go ahead and edit this on time. I appreciate everybody's support here. You guys were the GOATs. I'll see you guys next week. Like I said, you got some content going out this week, Smash Bros. Saturday, all that stuff to wrap up the week this week. So go enjoy those videos. Go check out Pick Show, NBA Pick Show, all that fun stuff. And we will see you guys for next week. This is BearberNation.com. Peace out, stay safe, and we'll see you guys in the next. Peace.